Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crate Expectations. I'm here with my co host, not diseased at all, Sarah. How are
No,
you today, Sarah?
uh, I'm just viral, not diseased.
You've gone viral.
I've
That's
gone viral,
that's that's
uh,
what you want on YouTube, right?
theoretically. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
So I'm glad we could record this week actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are we recording today? What are we talking about? What are we
um,
doing?
Hopefully not me coughing up my lungs.
Yeah,
Uh,
you need at least one of those.
yeah, just one. We have a ship chase, galactic chase happening right now. Just started for Zori's Y-Wing that no one saw coming. Absolutely no one,
No one did.
especially not in an episode of Great Expectations from last week.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No. And the bow event's coming back.
Okay.
So, yay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
Trigger photo. I picked another legendary showdown for us.
hmm.
Yeah. Viewer questions, the usual. There's a pack review of a calendar that I thought would be maybe a little bit interesting to talk about. And then we can talk about a Mandalorian and roast a roster.
All right.
And all I will tell you about the roster is they're in a rhodium.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, don't tell me which person is on the 300 line or anything.
Why would I tell you that?
I know, it's your edge. That's all you
Yes.
need.
So, what do you want to talk about? Do we care about the ship that we talked about last week?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it looks like an okay kit. I didn't read it that in depth, if I'm being super honest.
It looks
I've
okay.
been
It it doesn't it doesn't look bad, but it didn't have the like at least for me, I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, Resistance gonna be so good now." Like,
if someone had been like, "Hey, what does the game need? What do we need in this game to make it better, to make it more complete?" I would have been like, "Yeah, we need a third Y wing."
specifically
Like
Zori's Y-Wing.
I mean, like, just screw like adding a B wing to the game or an A wing, or you know. I mean, heaven forbid Red 5, despite the fact that we don't want to give in to meat at this point in
Uh,
this trolling.
why? So, do you think there's like an actual reason why they haven't added an A-Wing or a B-Wing?
No,
Just
they
curious.
they're just like, I kind of prefer the end of the alphabet. X wings, Y wings. They're gonna add a Z95 headhunter next. I guarantee.
Oh man.
They won't actually. I'm sure, but yeah, it's uh. Otherwise, I don't mind. I really don't. There's actually, I mean, they needed a pre-existing character for it, and so
Hmm.
Zori was a good target for it, I guess. There's also, I mean, there's also like there was a Y wing, or sorry, an A wing character. I forget what her name is. Pava, maybe. I forget.
Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Maybe it's someone. It's from one of the video games, one of the Battlefront video games. She had a
Hmm.
like part of the storyline, and she had an A wing. She was in the movie. She was in episode 8
Hmm.
for a while. I think she got killed by Kylo or something when he went in and did his murderous rampage in the hangar.
Um, so like they could add one. I think though, like,
Like a resistance A wing at
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah, that's an even better point. Um, but I feel like when they put Zori in game last year, we were all like, okay, so her ship's coming.
Do you feel like that's the same for Trench?
Um, I don't know. I think it would be weird with Trench because he would be the first conquest character. to pilot a ship, I think.
No, that is so wrong.
Who
think of
else?
think of Leviathan requirements.
But Leviathan's piloted by Darth Revan.
What about the requirement? You're saying you said the first ship that's quite piloted by. Oh, you're saying capital ship.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, capital ship that's pilot.
Oh, okay,
Because then,
okay. You said you just said ship. I was like,
sorry. I
okay,
was like,
all right.
what am I missing? Um, yeah, because then there's I don't know. I feel like Trench getting his ship has also been something that's been talked about a lot, but I also think it would be really out of left field.
Okay. I mean, I could see that. I also feel like a pretty niche character being added to the game with the name Admiral
Hmm.
just seems like why wouldn't that? Like, what point? It'd be like adding Admiral Radis
Right.
to the game. I mean, it just seems so obvious that his ship was going to be coming out at some point
Yeah.
soon.
I'm just thinking in terms of like the theme that they would want to do for the year or something.
Sure. I mean, also let's go that direction actually. Like, so people have been saying a lot to me, and I'm guessing that there's some YouTube person that
Hmm.
I'm not trying to disrespect. I genuinely have no idea who said this, but I've heard it often enough that it seems like it's got to be someone who introduced it. The idea of Anakin's capital ship from the Clone Wars, and now I forget what it's called, but
Oh,
people have been saying, "Oh, I think that ship's going to be introduced to the game. Like that's going to be the next big capital ship." And what do you think of that?
that's literally the first time I've heard that.
Oh,
I have not heard that at all.
I see it in my YouTube comments a lot. I mean, probably just because I talk about maybe Trench. Like, don't sleep on Trench.
Um, I think that's the big thing that I've been hearing is that people expect them to do something with Phantom Menace this year because it's the anniversary.
Is it like the 25-year anniversary or something like that?
Yeah.
Why is 25 years so fancy?
I don't know. Why was 40 so fancy last year?
40 seems a lot more impressive than 25.
See, but I feel like 25 is one of those like bigger milestones than 40. You always hear about 25, 50, 75. No one's ever like, oh, 40.
Arbitrary milestones, man. They have to be
So
multiples of 5, because our math system is base 10.
I prefer multiples of five.
I'm sure you
Um,
do.
uh, so would we get a new Anakin then, or would they just make like which Anakin would be the pilot? I guess
General,
gas.
yeah, I think people are saying General Skywalker.
Huh. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's pretty dumb. So,
I like the idea. I still like the idea of Pico floated that we will see Red 5 this year, not a capital ship.
okay, I wouldn't. I think that they're gonna change. I think Kyber One is gonna start having 4 fleets. Is what I think they're angling for.
Mm. And do you think they would do that just in Kyber 1, not all of Kyber?
I think. Now I'm trying to remember what the source was. There was something said by Meatface, I think,
Hmm.
about by someone. Someone was citing something CG said, and it's all sketchy the way I'm saying it. So I mean, clearly don't have all my ducks in a row on this one, but it was something about how Kyber One was going to change.
I did see that as well. Um,
Nice. Okay, I'm not just going crazy then. Not
yeah.
just fabricating it.
No, I did see that, but I just because the last time they made a change, specifically with fleets, it was all of Kyber.
I would be happy, honestly. Here's what I want. I want Kyber One to have, you know how they did the GAC expansion
Yeah.
way like a couple years ago. I want them to do that to just Kyber one.
Really?
Yeah, or like create a new league, like do a Beskar league, and just have the top 1,000 people or something, and then it has more teams required because that way. Because I feel like a lot of people in Kyber,
Mm-hmm.
like Kyber 4, Kyber 3, because now I'm in that with my Prevail Man account at 7 million, and
You're in Kyber 3?
yeah,
Yikes.
yeah, it's no, it is yikes. It's I'm like I have one good capital ship and it's 5 stars. That's it.
Ugh.
It's not good.
Man,
I literally leave one of my fleet slots blank. Like I just don't place anything.
I I'm genuinely worried that I'm just gonna slide into Prevailman's bracket.
Yeah, I know. I just got my ultimate on Ray.
Uh,
Like I have 2 GLs. It's not gonna end well for anyone. But yeah, it's I couldn't. They wanted me to put more teams down, and I'm like, I guess I'll put some garbage teams down. I can't spare anything. At
right.
7 million, I can't spare anything, and that's my experience in Kyber 3 and Kyber 4, and in Kyber 2, a lot of people are just they don't want to expand that either. They don't want to spend the time or effort or
Yep.
anything, and a lot of people do have smaller rosters there and are punching way up. And Kyber One, it's like, well, that's the place that people care more about GAC, and
So,
so
on that trend, so to
mhm,
speak, if they did do that, the time investment that would be required because it would add more time to GAC
it would.
wouldn't it wouldn't bug you?
Well, it wouldn't bug me personally. I think that would be that's what a lot of people are pushing back against though. Like I think in theory, a lot of people would be like, yeah, it'd be cool to be able to use more teams, because
Hmm.
right now, I just keep making super teams
Right.
because I can. I'm like, yeah, I guess I don't need General Skywalker. Like I just throw him on Jedi Master Luke or something random.
Right.
And that's not a real example. That was just a pretend one. I don't actually do that. To be clear, but
But it's a thing that could
right,
theoretically happen. Or you have
right,
characters that like full teams that are don't get used.
yeah. That there's it, and it makes me sad. I would like that. I know that people don't want the extra time investment, and I get it. And I don't know what the solution is other than you could. I mean, there's a lot of like we could talk about it forever, and we don't need to talk about GAC forever because I know it's not your favorite. But I just, to me, you could either just have it affect a certain like kind of elite group that
Yeah.
obviously care about GAC to some degree, who would probably a lot of people would probably prefer or at least be okay with that expansion, or you could have it be. I mean, I've heard people float the idea of like territory wars that last a day and a half or 2 days even for their phase. Like
Oh.
have a longer phase so you can get your attacks in.
Do you think it's like a problem right now to get your attacks in a day?
In GAC,
Or in territory war? Sorry, should have clarified.
I think that there's a lot of pressure at the top end, especially to. It's
Hmm.
like, well, sorry, you're not like you almost like you have to schedule things by where people are from. It's like, oh well, all
Yeah,
right.
that's
If
true.
if you're in America, you better get your attacks in. If we're trying to get your attacks in this window, and if you're in Europe, we need you to attack. Like wake up in the middle of the night, I guess, and get
Right.
your first attacks in, so we can actually clear this zone.
Right. Fair.
But being able having a little extra time, but then you could actually expand the boards a little bit too, potentially.
Right. Yeah, because if you're giving us extra time, then it's theoretically same time investment
Right.
overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't really know what the solution is. I think it would be interesting to see, but like going back to the capital ships thing, if we're just getting Red 5 and not a capital ship. I
Hmm.
mean, I would be fine with that unless Kyber One did suddenly have 4 fleets on defense. Then I'd want more ships.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a ton. 4 is a lot. So
Yeah, I don't want that.
me either, man. And and to be clear, I never really defended why I thought the Anakin ship being dumb was. I don't have anything against his ship or
Mhm.
him being a pilot. I have. I think that it's. I mean, sure, CG wants to put out more stuff, more stuff that people don't have, and I get that. I also think that the Mace fleet, like, why did they revamp it and like release a new Galactic Republic ship and everything, if not to try to revitalize it? Like, to me, it seems like they already have 2 Galactic Republic Star Destroyer kind of, I mean, like Venator class or whatever,
Hmm.
but they already have those. Wouldn't it be to me? It'd be way more interesting to have a. All we have so far are Star Destroyers and Mon Cal cruisers. That's the whole thing.
Right.
Like every fleet is one of those, and it would be nice to have something that wasn't that. Other
That,
than other than Malevolence and Leviathan.
that's fair. I think that's
Yeah,
fair. I still don't want 4 fleets in GAC though.
I wouldn't wish that on you, Sarah.
I will definitely just continue to ignore it.
I know you'll. I feel like you're that person who it's like I don't know. In Washington, they and probably other states too, but I know this from personal experience. In Washington, blackberry bushes are invasive.
Yep.
Like they like take over your property, and so every couple years you have to go out and just
Hack them
destroy them.
away.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you do with GAC sometimes. Is like you just ignore it for a while until you're like, I'm dropping too far, and you just go and just destroy your hapless opponents with smaller accounts
I'm
and
just
get
like,
you just hack away at the weeds, and you're like, all right, I'm back in comfortably in Kyber 2. We're good.
it's funny too because like sometimes I'll just do like a few attacks, like just enough. Like today, I didn't even clear a zone. Still won.
Okay. Oh,
You're welcome.
I'm happy for you.
So it's fine. And
I
I
can
didn't have
tell.
to see fleet.
Good job. Meanwhile, Professor X is in Kyber 1.
Don't worry about it. I'll meet up with Prevail Man soon.
Prevail man's more your speed.
Yeah. Oh man. Um. Okay. So, h- keeping with the ships thing though, are you like going to go crazy for Zori's ship for this
um,
chase?
I don't have a good answer for that. I actually
That's
don't have
fair.
a good answer for it. Here's the thing: my main account would normally be like, yeah, for sure, going for it. It's like 5,000 crystals or whatever. Um, and I think I will. I don't think it's gonna take that much extra to get it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, my main account is also kind of priced in to trying to go for
For
the new
Bo,
for the new Bo-Katan. Yeah, because I did soft whale, light whale, whatever it is, through
right?
shipments on the Kellerin Beck guy,
Yeah.
and then I was able to farm up what's his name Paz
A-
before now.
And how many shards do you need of IG-12 still? Do
Um,
you know?
like 60, and I'm already out of shipment. The weekly shipments are gone.
Ooh, so you got to get them through. Hopefully, they show up in shipments and
Through
farming.
shipments and farming and yeah, and that node, man, it's all just RNG.
I
Like
know.
there's
It's
like 9
brutal.
characters on it. It's stupid. It may never show up in the. I checked every day for the Keller and Beck on
Mm-hmm.
there, and it never showed up for over a week. So
Oh man. Are I'm so I'm not. before I switch to bow. I'm not gonna go crazy for Zori's ship just because I don't feel like it's a necessary thing. Also, I don't have enough crystals, so that's a whole other story.
Fair.
Um, but I feel like
You're
it's
going for Leviathan then. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm gonna ignore that too. I feel like it's just not a necessary thing. Like I'll do the 50s and the 100s on it and see where I end up.
You'll probably get pretty close.
I think I'll get pretty close. I did the 50s and the 100s just now when my game reset and the chase started, and I only had like 300 energy saved up because I didn't hoard. So I bought like the 50s right before my day switched, and I'm at 36 out of 80.
Oh, that's not bad.
I'm like, that's fine. I'll take it.
It lasts a week.
Yeah, it's got a
I'm sure
week.
you'll be fine.
I'm not worried about it. Um, but speaking of Bo, are you surprised that she's coming back already? It's been a month. A month exactly.
I'm annoyed that she's already back and Jedi Cal isn't.
It is very weird to me that she's back, but also very weird that it's the exact same day. Like it's the 21st.
They released the rules for the new data crons,
Hmm.
and the new bow is just so ludicrous. Did you see her
Yeah.
Datacron?
Yeah. I looked at it and I was like, it took me a minute. I completely forgot we were talking about Lord Vader, and I totally forgot that he takes their protection and turns it into health.
You use Lord Vader so much, don't you?
I forget that I have Lord Vader.
I know you do.
So I
He's
totally
so.
forgot about it. And then I was like, oh my God. And Pico and I were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, so she's just gonna go and kill every single character, and then it's just down to Lord Vader.
I think it's funny because she already killed out all the she killed most of the Lord Vader comps anyways.
Right. It
But
it does look like an obscene Datacron though.
it's very silly.
I
I don't.
I'm also curious about how many people are gonna unlock Bo this second go round versus like what's the jump we will see. Because it doesn't look like from the data mine that they're gonna bring any packs back, which also kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I was looking at the data mine, and it doesn't look. That's it's really discouraging. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's weird because why create this demand when
Yeah.
you don't have anything to sell? Like I would have bought a pack for sure. I would have bought a couple packs. They'd have some cash from me right now instead of spending crystals. And I guess I did refill a vault, but I mean, I was gonna do that anyways for just random stuff like on my account. So
It,
I don't know.
I
It's
feel
weird.
like it just would make sense even if you brought back like the gamble packs. I'm surprised that not even those are coming back.
I know. Oh yeah, I would probably have a Gear 13 Grogu right now.
Right. It,
If they had the gamble packs, I think I would have partaken.
yeah, it seems odd. I'm also um very interested to see if this comes back again in February on the 21st.
Yeah, let's find out. One friendly reminder to people, by the way, be doing your web store energy right now, and
Yeah.
hopefully you spike ships and you get more Y wing shards. Woo! We all wanted a new Y wing. We've got it.
Yeah, good plug.
Yeah.
And hopefully it ships.
All right, real quick, let's debate
Okay.
who would we delete.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, who would you delete out of Palpatine and CLS?
It's a rough one, man.
It is a rough one. I don't know what the answer is here because I use them both so much.
Um, I think let's see. I think I would delete Palpatine because
Hmm.
CLS is just a god in Conquest and early game. You need that so much.
Palpatine's good in Conquest too.
He's all right.
No, but you can cheese feats with them.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need him for conquest, but you don't. I mean, oh, man.
Let's just talk about conquest. Yay.
That doesn't seem fair. Uh, I I don't know who you would get rid of though out of the two.
So in some ways, like Darth Vader can kind of feel it. Right now, I kind of think of in GAC at least.
Okay.
I think of Star Killer
Yep.
going with Palpatine, but also I've been killing a lot of times, like on my especially on Prevail Man. If they place a Supreme Leader Kylo team, Vader is a better choice for the lead as
Right.
Dark Killer. So you can kind of replace his output in GAC there, and in Territory Wars, you're always putting a different weird Sith lead in. It
Yeah.
almost doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, it's always something else going there. But I feel like with CLS, you can just take like that CLS team and piecemeal them into other teams and they'd still be really strong.
But yeah, I mean, you're right about that. Like the dash fills in pretty nicely for Han
Right.
and Chewie at least, for instance. Yeah, let's just delete them both. We don't need them.
We don't need either of them.
uh,
Uh,
I will say I leaned way more on Prevail Man on CLS than
yeah.
any other character. And like that team has saved me. And oh, here's the winner right here, and
Mm.
something you wouldn't necessarily see because of your account size. It is amazing improving grounds. CLS beats about half of the
Ah.
teams.
Okay, so that is a very, very strong point. So maybe you do get rid of Palpatine. But
I mean,
man,
I
I
don't
will
want to.
say I that swayed me because I was gonna say CLS,
Mm.
but uh having a team that can do like a good chunk of those proving grounds battles is pretty important.
Man, it's a big deal, man. Between CLS and Trey, you can do almost all of them.
All right, well, no unlimited power for Palpatine.
It's okay. I saw a meme the other day or a joke or whatever of Palpatine in like on a walker, and he's like saying, "I used to be the most powerful being in the universe," and Rey is like walking with him, and she's like, "Yes, yes, Grandpa, let's get you a nap."
She's like, sure, okay, whatever you
Yep.
say.
Yep.
Uh, oh man.
All right, let's.
Fantastic. Okay.
All right, sorry, Palps, you're gone. Torched. CLS. As opposed to in the movies where the Skywalker line gets torched and the Palpatine line persists.
Oh man.
And the Palpatine line takes over the
Yeah.
Skywalker line. It's horrible. It's insidious. All right, let's go to the trigger
Trigger
photos.
photo,
Yeah,
which is real triggering.
it's the triggerist. Yeah,
I'm so sad.
it's so this is our shared guild ODB,
Yep.
and we didn't have a single extra attack. We all went for we're going for the max crate, and
Yep.
we didn't make it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry that we didn't get to use anyone else's trigger photos, and then everyone else's trigger photos that they submitted on the Discord server were atrocious compared to this. But no, they were good. I like. Thank you. Please keep submitting your trigger photos, people. But this is so sad.
I'm so sad about this. So to be fair, this is like the first raid post, guild vote that we were gonna go for max crate. So we weren't anticipating to get this close. But also there were people that did worse than what they usually do. So not
Right.
happy. I'm gonna pout about it.
Well, the sad part is probably, and I mean, you did most of the attacks on Professor X on this, so this
Right.
isn't me throwing shade. My guess is that if you had just tried, like, you probably could have gotten
Oh,
not tried. Like, my guess is that you could have maybe squeaked out an extra 100K. if you
I could
like
have squeaked
had
out an
to.
extra 100K on my own for sure.
Right. And that's no shade at, like,
I,
no one knew that it was going to be this close.
yeah,
So,
I think everyone in the guild could have squeaked out. Aside from the people obviously at the top, could have
at the
squeaked
very
out an
top,
extra
yeah.
100K. But
Hmm.
I'm still mad about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just tragic, man. It's very sad. All right, we're going to go to Sarah's channel
Yes,
and we'll be a lot happier there, and
maybe.
that not the roster roast is going to make me so sad. I already know.
It's gonna be great.
I'm not looking forward to. All right, guys, go to Sarah's channel, like and subscribe here and there. There should be a link below us at some point here, and so click on that or in the video description. There's also a link there. So we'll see you on the other side, on the dessert side.
Cake.